Assalamualaikum, and I hope everyone is doing great. And I'm Hani from the group 1. So, I will be explaining about the first case study of this professional ethic case study. So, I'm going to tell you guys what is actually happened on this case. So, basically, there's this lady who just came back to work after taking some time off to take care of her elderly mom. Everyone in the front works from the office, but she's got issues with her mom's home care. She's been missing a few morning meetings and sometimes needs to leave early. That's so bad of her. But she's actually really good at her job. But her absence are making things tough for the rest of her team. Everyone feels the pressure and crazy. And to make this worse, one of her male colleagues keeps making rude comments like, "A woman's place is in the home," which is super inappropriate. So yeah, she's under a lot of stress right now, both from work and from that colleague's attitude. So from this case, we are going to think, what's the problem in this case, affected parties, and the best solution for this situation. In this case, the ethical issues involve unprofessional behavior from both the staff member and her colleague. The staff member is actually very capable at her job, I'm not lying, but she's been struggling to balance her personal and professional responsibilities. Because of that, she often misses meetings and takes time off, which is end up putting extra pressure on her teammates. At the same time, there's the male colleague who's been making things worse by saying inappropriate things like a woman's place in the home. That's a clearly a sexist and disrespectful remark, and it creates a really uncomfortable and toxic atmosphere for her. So overall, both of them are showing unprofessional behavior in different ways. She's not handling her work responsibility properly, and he's being discriminatory and rude. Altogether, it shows how the workplace is lacking professionalism, respect, fairness, and which are supposed to be really important in organization. Alright guys, now let's talk about the affected parties are involved in this case. The people affected in this case are the management, the firm, and the staff member herself. The management, of course, plays a big role because they are responsible for making sure ethical standards are followed and that both the performance issue and the discrimination problem are handled properly. The firm as a whole could also be affected. Because why? Since situation like this can ruin its reputation and create a negative work culture. And for the staff member, she's the one facing the biggest impact. And she's dealing with stress, emotional pressure, and unfair treatment from her colleague. That's why it's really important for the management to take fair action and show strong ethical leadership to bring back trust, integrity, and professionalism in the workplace. Alright, now we are going to discuss the possible solution, and if I were the manager in this situation, here's how I would handle it. First, I start by having a private conversation with the staff member to understand her situation better. I wouldn't want to punish her straight away without knowing what's really going on. I believe it's important to show empathy, especially since she's struggling work and personal responsibilities. During our discussion, I do listen carefully. After emotional support, and try to help her plan her time more effectively. Maybe we could even explore some internet assistant to ease her workload. This approach shows ethical leadership and build trust, but at the same time, I do make it clear that this issue needs to be resolved. It cannot continue indefinitely. Second, if there is still no improvement after that, I do move to the next step, which is giving a formal warning letter. As a manager, I have to be fair and make sure accountability is maintained. The warning letter would act as an official reminder of her responsibilities and the company's expectation. I do make sure to communicate respectfully so she doesn't feel disrespected but still understand that the situation is serious and needs to be addressed. Now, if the problem continues even after the warning, I do have to take disciplinary action. according to the company policy lah. Maybe suspension or other corrective measures, depending how severe the issue is. It's my duty as manager to be consistent and professional with all employees. So this step would show that I take fairness and integrity seriously. I do also to make sure the process is transparent and well documented to avoid any claims of bias. Lastly, I do also consider introducing flexible working hours option for her. Since she's dealing with caregiving responsibilities, allowing flexible hours or partial remote work might help her manage both work and family better. I think this is an ethical and compassionate approach that can maintain productivity while supporting employee well-being. Of course, I do clearly set performance expectations and communicate this openly with the team to avoid any feelings of favoritism. Altogether, I believe these steps show that professionalism and empathy can go hand in hand, and that good management means finding a balance between fairness, compassion, and accountability. Alright, everyone. After considering all the possible solutions, I think the best and most ethical one is to give the staff members some work flexibility. As a manager myself, I believe this is the fairest way to balance professionalism and empathy for her situation. Her absenteeism happens because of real family responsibilities, not because she's lazy or careless. She's a good person. So, punishing her will not really fix the problem. By allowing flexible hours or partial remote work, she can take care of her mom while still doing her job well. But at the same time, I need to be careful of familiarity traits, meaning I shouldn't be too lenient or biased just because I feel sympathy for her. To avoid that, I do set clear performance targets, review her progress regularly, and communicate openly with the team to make sure everything stays fair. Overall, flexibility is not a sign of weakness. It shows ethical leadership that balances compassion with responsibilities. It helps the employees stay motivated while keeping the organization fair and professional. That's all from me. Thank you, everyone.
Bye!